We just had what people say is the worst year in real estate in 2022. Can you tell everybody how much money you made in a slow market?
The end of last year, I grossed a little over $82,000. It just doesn't sound real, but I'm the one who put all the hard work in there. So I know for sure that it is doable and anybody can do it. Anybody can do it.
Another on the road with signing agent Donna. Donna, let's just get right to the chase because your story is as inspiring as any of them. You're a single mom.
Yes.
It is the end of 2022. We're filming this in January 2023. We just had what people say is the worst year in real estate in 2022. Can you tell everybody how much money you made in a slow market?
The end of last year, I grossed a little over $82,000.
$82,000 in 2022. Like when I say that out loud, what feelings go through? What thoughts go through?
It just doesn't sound real, but I'm the one who put all the hard work in there. So I know for sure that it is doable. And I just, starting my journey, I can't believe that it just turned around like so quickly.
So, there's going to be people, there'll be comments on YouTube saying, oh, there's no way you made $80,000 in 2022. For someone who says the market is slow, what would you say to them?
I say, everybody's always going to be buying and selling. And now that I'm networking with realtors and brokers, there's always going to be a need to buy and sell, whether people move, get new jobs, divorce, marry. So it's not about it being slow. It's just about knowing where to find the work and not being closed-minded to go look for it. I travel at least 2 hours outside of my own county, marketing and doing assignments all over the place throughout the Bay Area. So I didn't stick to my county. I said, I'm going to go here, 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 everywhere that nobody usually will go. I even go up to Mendocino and Humboldt because there's a big need for the, really northern areas and that nobody's really able to service them. So I do what nobody will do.
That's the best quote. I will do what no one's willing to do. And so I just wanted to get that right out of the gate because I get too often, Mark, it's a slow market. It's not slow. Your effort's slow.
Yes. Yeah. If you're going to wait for other people to feed your family and come knocking on your door and say, hey, here's some food, here's some stuff, like that doesn't happen. You have to be a hunter gatherer. You have to get that mentality that, you know what, I'm going to go find it. I know it's out there. I just got to go find it and make sure it knows that I'm here so that we can work together. So I make sure I tell my clients in the marketing, I will go where most won't. I work the hours that most won't. I work weekends. I work evenings. My mom's a nurse, so I know how hard it is for her to find anything during her regular hours because she works in the middle of the night. So a lot of times people start work at 10, they need somebody to come by the hospital or, whatever it may be. And I want to be that, that point of contact for them. I want to be able to help.
Well, what I heard is, no one's just going to knock on your door and give you business.
No.
Look, the crazy part is in 2021, that kind of happened, let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
But 2022, it didn't. And what I love about your story, what you're going to share, is you're one of my students who came in during the pandemic, right?
Yes.
And so, look, the fact of the matter is that it was good for the entire real estate economy. But 2022 was the year of higher interest rates, and you're still making $80,000. I mean, let's go! Man, I'm so excited to dive into your story, Donna, because, your story is inspiring than any of these that we've told. I mean, you're a single mom. You're raising a daughter. You're raising a son. You're building a business from scratch. I mean, you're superwoman, basically. And so congratulations, by the way. I'm proud of you. But let's tell people through your story, because I know it wasn't always like this. Yeah, sure, you have an $80,000 year business now, but 2.5, 3 years ago, it wasn't like that. So, just kind of share your story if you could to inspire others that, they're not alone in a struggle to get where you are.
So I was working in an office for the last 16, 17 years. I was working during COVID, but then things just took a really sharp turn. I moved jobs. I started with another company that it started off really well, and then things got really slow. I was having a hard time paying rent. I was literally working paycheck to paycheck. I had to overdraft my account in order to pay rent some months. our Christmas in 2021 was really, really scary for me, because starting off the new year with a lot of uncertainty, it made me feel like I don't know where things are going.
You were living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, you mentioned that you had to overdraft your bank account to pay rent. I mean, how'd that make you feel? Like, I mean, talk to me about like, because I don't think that should be looked over, because it was such a powerful thing to share. But how did that make you feel? How did that make you feel? Did your children know? I mean, like, talk to me about the entire thing, because I think that's probably the most inspirational part of your story.
Being out in the Bay Area, it's pretty pricey to live. So I never really was at a point where I could save, to actually get a house. I was always kind of scraping by. I really had no idea the impact that it had on my kids. My kids would be aware of our struggle, always offering up whatever they could. Like, it was hard because I didn't realize the impact that it really had on them until we started doing good. And then they started opening up to, wow, like, I know there was times that it was like kind of hard. I know that you were struggling, and it's so good to see you doing good now. But at those times where we had to borrow money for gas, I was overdrafting my account. I had to go to paycheck places to, get an advance because I needed, gas money, grocery money. Like, that wasn't a good feeling. It made me feel vulnerable, but I'm really hard headed and I don't like asking for help. So I was always doing this kind of on my own in secret. Like, I never let anybody know what I was going through, because I just didn't want my kids to worry. But little did I know, they knew the struggle. So I was just kind of keeping it really deep down in. And when I finally gave myself an opportunity to succeed, I was like, wow, like, this can be something. I feel like this could be something. So I took a chance and I went for it. And I'm really scared, really vulnerable, because I've gone to school before. I have a certification to be a pharmacy technician, and I don't even like medication. So I said, that's not a good journey for me. And I kind of gave up on school because I've never really been, academically, like, just into it. I never really knew what I wanted to do. Nobody wakes up and say, oh, I want to be a loan signing agent. Like, it's just something that you hear about. And it's just like, really, is that something? Like, is that really something? So I stayed on your site. I stayed on your, all your videos and all your Instagram on the road, and just watching all these inspirational videos. I was like, there is people out there going through it. I'm not the only one. And I feel like this could be something. So I was like, I'm going to delve into this and just see what it takes. So some nights I was up after work and just sitting here doing my training, watching you, and just getting inspired. Every evening I would put like 30 minutes into the course, rewatching stuff I didn't understand, taking notes. Like, I was like, this is going to be something. I have to focus because I don't know real estate. I don't want to embarrass myself. So getting over that hump, just allowing myself to be vulnerable and just put the money in and invest in myself was like very eye-opening. Because if you don't invest in yourself, who's going to want to invest in you? If you allow yourself to, go far, you're unstoppable. It just depends on how far you want to go. And I didn't know that.
Speaking of unstoppable, and when you're a mom, things just have to work out. There's just kind of no plan B. And thank you for being so vulnerable to share. I mean, going into a paychecks place and taking an advance on the paycheck to borrowing money for gas. I mean, at the end of the day, it just such an incredible, inspiring story. I mean, how much money were you making a week before things were looking up for you?
Well, my last job that I was maybe grossing about $200 a week. And in the Bay Area, I mean, that's struggling to pay rent. That's not even including food, bills, like things for the kids. That's scraping by. So it was a very scary time for us.
I mean, 200, you can live in Omaha, Nebraska, and $200 a week is not a lot of money, let alone in the Bay Area. I mean, again, what I think story is so inspirational, and we're going to get to kind of how you rose out of that, but $200 a week, like, how are you feeling? I mean, like, I don't even know how you put food on the table and pay for the gas. I mean, talk to me through that part of your journey. Like, how did that feel? Like, where were you at mentally? Were you doubting yourself? I mean, take people through that. And the reason I ask you that is because you're now the most uber confident lady I know, but it hasn't always been like that.
Definitely
Right?
not.
So talk people through, the self-doubt and the sadness, and I mean, living $200 a week. Like, I don't even know how you did that with two children. Take people back through that if you're okay.
When you get paid and it's not even enough to pay your car payment, or not even 2 weeks isn't enough to make even half of the rent, it's scary. And especially when you're out with no family in this area and you feel really alone. I've had my kids, I'm a single mom, so I've had them by myself for the last couple years. I don't get any, child support or anything like that. So it's really difficult when you're just kind of out there by yourself. It's scary. You feel unsure. You don't know really like what's going to happen. You're really digging through the fridge trying to make everything stretch. Um, it, Credit card debt, having to supplement for Christmas when I didn't have the money to do Christmas, didn't have a bonus anymore. So that was a real eye opener because I switched jobs. So that was just like, wow, like I don't want to be in this situation this time next year. I want to be 100% opposite of where I'm at. Explaining to the kids that, I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot this year, and explaining to them why really felt like a slap in the face because I've been so devoted. I've always had a job. I've been working since I was 11 years old. So working this long and still not having anything, really, that's what pushed me to like, okay, there's something better out there. We just got to figure it out.
So when you were telling your kids, we're not going to be able, I'm not going to be able to give you much this Christmas. Like, what did that feel like?
It was a weird conversation because my kids are so understanding, and my kids are just like, you know what, mom, it's okay. Whatever, we're happy with whatever, because they've always been very understanding because our situation's always been really like up and down. When we moved here, I was staying with family for a little bit, and then we had our own place, and it's just been a lot of like up and down. So I feel bad because it's always been like a roller coaster with them, but they've always been super strong and always my backbone. So they were the ones who really like, mom, it's okay. It's going to be okay. I know you're going to work it out. You're smart. We don't need anything. We have everything we need. We have a place. We have our car. Like, they put things in perspective for me a lot of the time. And I'm just like, wow, like, you're the kid and I'm the adult, but you just really know how to just really opened my eyes. So I was like, all right, well, now that I have that under control, what are we going to do with this now? What are we going to do to start making sure that this is not going to happen again? So that's
So
when I started just going in with that.
now that you have a successful business, how do they look at mom?
It's weird because at first they were kind of not poking fun, but just like, oh, are you doing your little class? Are you doing your little, I'm like, yes, I'm doing it, give me a little time. But now they're just like, how much did you make today? My son's like, hey, you want to tally up what you made today? Like, it's such a different feeling, different vibe. Both of them always excited to hear about like what I have for the day. How's your week looking, or where are you going this week? Or to see that ease of stress come off, and like see the I don't know, the confidence being built in them because I'm getting more confident, and because our situation is easing out to where we're actually able to save for a house. Like, that's huge. We've always been scraping by. So like, that whole thing was just like, oh, that would be a nice thought, but you need two people to buy a house. So I don't think that'll ever happen for me because I'm a single mom. So I'm just like, well, that'd be nice. Maybe one day. But yeah, just to see them grow with their security and our financial security, everything is just falling into place, and it's really weird to watch them blossom. And they're teenagers, so it's just, they're very aware of what's going on, and they're very thankful for everything that's happened. And
And how do
it's
you
great.
feel about yourself now, Dee?
I feel amazing, and I honestly, every time somebody asks me about it, I shout it to the world. I'm telling, I'm an advocate. If you need a side hustle, if you want to do something different, I'm an advocate. So much of this program of being a notary, like, it's truly just been such an eye-opening experience, and I love helping people. So that's why I get so much fulfillment out of what I do now, because it's not just like, oh, anybody could be a paper pusher. Like, I'm legitimately helping people. I've been called a superhero sometimes. I'm like, that's kind of weird because our transaction's very, very quick.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The clients that I meet, the repeat business that I get, like everybody really reiterates that I'm in the right business for me. This suits me. This feels good to me. I'm happy to wake up and do it every day. Even if it's not the best signing, it's still a great signing because I'm the one who's, assisting. And even though like sometimes it's not always the best situation, I turn it around and they're just like, wow, thank you for, making that like a good situation. So helping people has always been one of my favorite things to do. So now being able to guide people through such like a weird process, a daunting process, I like to be the one to come in and say, I got you covered. We're going to be okay.
People who have journeys like yours, it's beautiful because it really sets you up to be a great business owner. What do I mean by that? Is like, this business had to succeed. In the beginning of our conversation, you said you would do anything. You will go anywhere. You will help your clients. And now it's like that translated in because that's kind of what you had to do for your family. Like
Yeah.
you said, like I had to look in that fridge and I had to make whatever food in there work for dinner. But that mentality carries over to your business and it's very apparent. And so it's funny how like, life sets you up for these moments, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
it
life
does.
sets you up for because like in order to be a good business owner, like you kind of got to be tough, right? You got
Yeah.
to be able to take the lumps. And the funny part is like $200 a week and trying to feed a family of three. There's no real estate agent or signing that's more scary than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you
Yeah.
can get through that, you can get through marketing. And so I'm just so proud of you, man, because you know if you would have folded, no one would have blamed you.
I was very close a couple times just because the self-doubt was like, you don't belong doing this. You don't belong doing this. This isn't you. But I was just like, it will be me. This will be me. I'm going to make this be me. I'm going to keep working hard until I make it seem like I've been doing this for years. Like that was my goal.
I'm so proud of you. Like I knew your story on a snippet, and now you open up. And I mean, again, I mean, Mom, you're a superhero. You are not just to your
Thank
clients, but
you.
to your family because I can't relate to $200 a week, and but I can relate as a parent, and I can relate on how that's just an incredible story of perseverance. So, dude, so proud of you and so inspiring, man.
Thank you. It's weird to say $200 a week when sometimes one has the potential to make that in an hour. Like that's so incredible. Like I tell everybody if they even inquire about what I do, I'm all, oh, hold on a second, let me tell you. I'm all look up LSS, look up Mark Wills, everything. Like if you need help, here's my card. Call me if you need guidance. Like I would be happy to. Like I just want to shout it from the rooftops because it really has been such a life-changing experience and really pushing me to like I feel grow up into another level, another
Mhm.
like being of myself. It's weird because I've always marketed for other companies and that's pretty easy because the product sells itself. But when you're like selling yourself, that's really weird. But you just got to go in there and be as confident as you can be and let them know like I want to do the best I can for you. And it's worked. It really, really has. Being consistent and just not giving up has truly, truly worked.
Oh, you're amazing. Let's transition to the next part of this inspirational story. And the inspiration, frankly, is you can read on every blog in America, oh, the real estate is slow. Oh, signing agents aren't making any money. But yet in 2022, you made $80,000,
Mhm.
$82,000. I mean, that's incredible. Let's talk about your first couple months in the business. So, I got notes written down over here. How much money did you make in your first month in the business?
So my first month in the business, I made about $170.
Okay. $170 your first month of business. Second month of your business, what you make?
Second month of business, I made a whopping $775.
Third
And that
month in
was
the
only
business.
off the signing service business.
And then in your third month in the business, what'd you make?
470. So we went down a tad bit.
You went down. Okay, so we have students, you've seen them in the Facebook group
Yeah.
who just think the world's falling apart because they haven't made $3,000 in a month, right? You made $700 and then you actually went lower to $470. Why didn't you give up? Why didn't you see that as a failure? You saw other people making 10 grand a month, 15 grand a month, right? So why didn't you see that as like the end of the world? Oh, Mark's course isn't working, right? Because I get those emails. I'm like, you
Yeah.
just started the business, man.
Yeah.
$100 is
Yeah.
great your first month. So
Yeah.
why didn't you have that mindset and quit? Talk through that.
I didn't quit because my second month, like that just showed me right there. If I'm in it and I'm serious about it, and if I'm good, it's going to work.
Why didn't you see another student making 10 grand a month? You know students who made $10,000 in the middle of the
Yeah.
boom in their second month, right? You
Yeah.
know them. So
Yeah.
but how come you didn't get discouraged that you weren't? And again, I'm trying to get in the mindset because we have students who will see this interview right now and like, oh my gosh, she makes $80,000. Hey, that's not me, right? Why didn't you have that mindset?
Failure was not an option. $200 a week was not acceptable. And in 1 month doing a side business, I made almost what I made in a month working. I was like, oh, hold on a second, we're on to something. So that's why,
Oh, that's so
because
powerful. What
it,
I heard there, it's the power of perspective,
yeah,
right? You had a struggling single mom making $200 a week at her W-2. She made $200 in a month. She was like, dude, this is life changing. And I love that because it's perspective, right? There's some people who think $200 and they look down on it.
no,
You looked up at it. And I
mm-hmm,
think it's really important for people to hear that because what was a failure to somebody else was a massive success to you. And you allowed that to create momentum. And
yeah,
that's what I want people to understand is success is about creating momentum in any fashion you can. And you chose to use perspective as your motivation to get through. And I love
yeah,
it. And again, like I said, you're a single mom. And so the perspective of this had to work. It's a little bit different to somebody who's just doing this as a side hustle. Like this side hustle, like was more than a side hustle. This was putting food
yeah,
on the family's plate, right? And so
yes,
again, perspective. And so I think someone else watching this right now who can't, hasn't made more than $200, $500 is, you were just like, dude, this is unbelievable. So let's
yeah.
keep going. So, how many months until you started making quote unquote real money? Like,
Um,
$44,000 that was like, sustainable living for a family. How many months into the business?
it took me about 6 months to start making some substantial money. So after I started my journey as a signing agent, I still kept my job. But when I got laid off, that was when my eyes opened. I was like, okay, now I see the potential of what I can make on this side business. I'm only doing signing service work. So what's the next step? I need to get out and I need to go make sure that people know who I am. So, like you said, I gathered whatever I could because still I didn't have a whole lot of money. The signing
Right.
services pay, 30 days. So I'm out of pocketing a lot of the stuff, but I know I'm going to be paid. I know it's all going to work out.
6 months.
Yes.
Again, you didn't see this as a failure for like 6 months. You just saw this as something that every month I'm gonna keep chugging along. I'm keep chugging along. But again, like I keep saying, I'm gonna say it to my face here, but it was like, to me, it's really that single mom, I got to make it work mentality, which again is
Yes.
what sets you up to being a business owner, in my opinion, because not a lot of people are cut from that tough cloth and they kind of bow out early. But what I'm trying to coach people on is like, don't bow out. Like it might
No.
take you 6 months and
Yeah.
that's okay, but you got to let your flowers blossom. And a lot of people don't. So again, there's so many different parts of your story that I think are so inspiring. And that's just one of them, right? That it took you 6 to 7 months to really get this thing off the ground. Okay, cool. So business is going great. Boom. 2022 hits, right? Interest rates spike. We're at 6, 7%. The chatter all over the internet is like, oh, it's bad time to be a signing agent. Oh, you
Yeah.
shouldn't be a signing agent. And what's your mindset? Because you had an unbelievable 2022.
Took it as a challenge because if signing services are going to be busy, that means that there's still work in title offices. So you just got to go find the work. So I did get a little disgruntled sometimes when I was on, hearing about how slow it was getting. But I was like, you know what, that's just going to push me to go a little bit further. So now we're going to go market to Napa. Now we're going to go market to Contra Costa. Like we're going to go everywhere. I even go to Lake County, any surrounding area that probably is not the number one on somebody's list, maybe a little windy, I'm like, I'm for it. If there's a title office there, I'm going to go. Number one, because if one office isn't busy, somebody else is going to have work. So what are you bringing to the table? So I'm just like, I'll do the ones that you don't want to do. If somebody needs service in their house, I'll be that backup for you. I just want you to know you have reliable backup. So that was what I was marketing myself as. I want to be your reliable backup. So even when you can't do it, somebody that probably can. So just making sure that I'm going as far as I'm comfortable and getting my name out there, because I was not going to take no for an answer. I already invested this much time in it, and I saw the potential, and I know that it was possible. I saw what people were making, and I'm like, I'm going to be that. It's going to happen for me, and I'm not going to stop until it does.
I hope everybody rewatches that. I mean, she told you her script, but more importantly, she told you the mindset. Like, I'm going to see it as a challenge. See, again, I think your story has made you battle tested for a business owner, right? No matter what business are you in America, there's going to be ups and there's going to be downs, but it's the strong survive in a down. And that's what LSS Nation does. That's what you did, right? It's like, look, there's going to be a little bit less business for my current clients. I got to start expanding outwards, and I'm going to get enough business outwards that it's going to make me $80,000. I mean, and what the best part about this is, by the way, and you're going to hear me call it right now in this interview, is it sets you up for a signing service perfectly. Because when rates drop, you're not going to be able to service all those counties because your current people in your Bay Area are going to be so busy, but they're going to be like, Donna, well, I need help. And you're like, boom, I'm going to open a signing service. And so, by the way, this is how I built my signing service. I was part of the 2006 Great Recession. I started marketing wider. And all of a sudden, when rates went lower and the housing market came back, I was so busy, I had no choice but to start a signing service. But this is why you're going to crush in the next refinance boom, because we're going to have one. But again, I hope everybody heard this. The first thing you said, I saw it as a challenge. Most people wither when a challenge happens. You rose to the occasion. You know why? Because you're mama bear. It's like with your family, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I have to rise to every occasion. Rising to occasion is just what I do. And that's what's beautiful about your story is the rates aren't going to dictate, because we still have students making 6 figures. We have students making 7 figures with their signing service, but they didn't let the market dictate their success. So many signing agents right now are like, oh, it's the market. No, it's not. It's your effort.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's out there. It's like finding a needle in a haystack sometimes, but stay diligent and keep going. Like, if you don't go out there, somebody else is going to go out there. If you decide to take a day off that one day, well, then that gives opportunity for somebody else to maybe hit up that office that you should have gone into. It's very nerve-wracking. I was sweating bullets. There was times I was having panic attacks in my car. I'm like, what am I even doing right now? Like, what am I even doing right now? I would sit, I would drive around, I would go to parks. The minute I walked into an office, instance, and then we're wearing masks too. So I'm just like, just a mess. But I'm just like, look, my name's Donna. I would like to be a preferred notary for you. Just whatever I remembered from your script, I would spew out. But now I've developed like relationships. I know people by name. They know me by name. Like, it feels good to go in somewhere and everybody be happy to see you because you're reliable.
What I thought was beautiful about that, I'm trying to gather my thoughts because you had so much awesome fire there. The first thing I want to say is, I think there's this feeling that just because you're a successful signing agent, that you're not nervous. You don't get scared. You don't sit in your car.
I do.
And that's my point. And what I heard again is you did it scared, right? That was mama bear. Like you cannot do it and you cannot feed your family, or you can do it and you can feed your family. And I hope people hear that, right? Because you're somebody where it had to work. And it's amazing what happens when things have to work. The business just appears. It doesn't just appear. Yeah. You do it scared. Yes. And so there's some people out there where this doesn't necessarily have to work. And so therefore they just kind of say, oh, it's slow. It's not slow. Your effort's slow. It's a narrative that they can fall back on, and they can blame it on the market instead of blaming it on themselves.
I kind of look at it as like weight loss. You get what you put into it. You've said it before, and I'm like, God, that's so right. If you stay diligent, go every day, something's going to happen. It will happen eventually. You keep going marketing, people are going to get to know you. Then, everybody talks, offices talk. Oh, I need somebody in this area. Well, this girl just came in. Here, give her a call. It's weird how it works, but really, truly, the power of marketing and connections has been so eye-opening, because I'm a very introverted person. I don't like talking about myself. I don't like going in and starting random conversations with people I don't know. Like, that's weird. It was so weird to me, but now it feels almost natural, because I'm going in there with like true intentions, and I do care. How are you? Like, how have you been? How was your, we chit chat, because we're truly making connections. And I've made some great friends, like amazing friends last year, that we're actually friends on a personal level now. And I didn't think that would ever happen, because I'm like, why would anybody want to talk to me? But you just be yourself, and just give yourself a chance to be nervous and sweat bullets and cry a little. Like, it's okay. Everybody goes through it. It's the process.
It's the process. I mean, that's going to be a shirt at conference. It's the process. I mean, part of the process is doing it scared. What I loved, everything you just said, is like what I coach. That it's going to be scared the first time. It's going to be a little less scary the second time, a little less scary the third time, a little less scary the fourth time. And then, oh my gosh, it no longer becomes scary. But it's getting it through that scary part then becomes really authentic. It becomes less about you and more about trying to create a relationship, and more about really trying to help somebody, like you said, like you really care. And it comes off when you market. And so, gosh, what a great interview so far. I mean, I hope everyone's as inspired as I am, because like I said, Dee, I know you, but like, I don't know the story. I don't know the journey. And that's what I love about these on the roads, is like, you're meeting people of all different walks of life. Let me ask you this question I ask everybody. If Donna could build this business, do you think anybody can build this business?
Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. Honestly, they truly can. Just believe, like, honestly, it sounds cheesy, but there's nothing wrong with believing yourself, giving yourself a chance to be humiliated, and picking yourself back up. And you know what? That wasn't that bad. Let's try it again. It didn't kill me. Let's try to make me stronger, So I always took those situations, and I always thought about them, and I like, okay, tomorrow I'm not going to freak out. I'm going to take deep breaths. Maybe I'll take the elevator instead of the stairs, so I'm not like freaking out and then I'm out of breath. Like, little things like that, just, reflect on, and then figure out how you're going to make yourself better tomorrow. I still get nervous marketing, even to offices that like me. I don't know why. I just feel like sometimes that I'm bugging, but I'm like, you know what? 2 seconds out of their day is not going to hurt anybody. And most of the time they're happy, especially when you're going in with gratitude, fun stuff to make the day, like, just a little something to make somebody's day brighter. I used to get marketed too, so I got a lot of good ideas by the people that used to come market to our office, like just cute treat ideas, things that make you memorable. And then it's like, when people see you pull up, it's like, hey, it's you, like, I'm happy to see you, let's chat. What do we got going on? And then when the need comes, you're the one they're thinking of. And that's what's been the most amazing thing about this whole process, is like, it works. It really works. Like, I didn't believe it, but it works.
My favorite line of the entire conversation so far is, give yourself a chance to be humiliated. Like, that's part of the process. You're just saying it's the process. Part of the process is doing it, kind of being awkward. Okay, that wasn't so hot. But why I love that sentence is because you can't get good until you're bad.
Yeah.
Right? And you accept that. Right? But the saying of like, give yourself a chance to be humiliated, what they're really saying is like, give yourself a chance to learn.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't give themselves the chance to learn. The best way to learn is to do. But sometimes in order to do, you do have to humiliate yourself. And you do have to maybe bumble through the words. You do have to be like, wow, I was terrible. But pick yourself back up, like you said, learn from that moment, and then move to the next. I mean, what an amazing conversation so far. So let's move to the next part, because like I said, every part's so inspirational. Let's move to the next part of the conversation, which is, a simple question of like, your best friend in the whole world is going to be a signing agent. And they're like, yo, D, I know there's a million pieces of advice you can give me, but what's the one piece of advice you would give me? I'm your best friend. on how to build this business, what would that one piece be?
It's kind of like a two-parter, but just believe in yourself and stay consistent. Believe that you have the potential to, like, okay, what's your goal? What is your real true goal in this whole thing? And mine, I just said when I started and I hit, purchase on your thing, I was like, I want to make $100,000 in a year. That's my goal. Seems a little far-fetched, but you know what? That's my goal. So every day I think about that goal and I don't veer from it. So I believe that I'm capable of making that much money, even though it's far-fetched and I've never in my life made that much money ever, ever, ever. But I'm like, it's going to happen. So I believed in it
Girl, you made
every day.
$82,000 in a normalized cycle. When the market gets to normal, you're going to make 120 grand in your sleep. Mark my words. Okay. Um, but what I want to say is, since that's your piece of advice, it sounds like there's a moment you didn't believe in yourself.
Yeah.
So talk about that, because in order to give the advice, there must have been a moment where you didn't believe in yourself and stuff wasn't working out. And when you chose to believe in yourself, it started working out. So take me through that. When did you not believe in yourself? Talk about that, because I think that you're right. It's like a lot of people don't believe in themselves. So relate to someone right now. When you said, you didn't believe in yourself, what do you mean by that?
Seeing some of the agents make, 10,000 in their second month, third month, fourth month, I was like, oh, I'm just kind of wondering if that's even going to be a possibility for me, because, getting the printer, getting the paper, ink, stuff like that. I'm just like, ooh, this kind of hurts a little bit, like this is kind of, I'm feeling like I'm spending a little bit more than I'm making, but still stay diligent, and don't veer off. So coming out of pocket before everything started coming in, it was making me feel a little nervous, because then again, I was still very not good financially. Like I was
Oh,
still
so this is
recovering from that
interesting.
time.
So what I'm hearing is, like, because there was so much money going out and nothing coming in,
Yeah.
you really still doubted, did I make the right decision?
Yeah. Because
And so,
it's one thing, you have to have the proper stuff to do a good job, and when I first started, I bought the cheapest, but pretty good laser printer. But I've had my trials and tribulations, and that thing stressed me out. And I was like, I don't know if I'm cut out for this. But then I saved my money, got myself a good machine, and I'm like, oh, this is not so bad.
let me ask you this question, because I thought that was a powerful, vulnerable moment. You had all this money going out.
Yeah.
You didn't have a ton of money coming in, so you're doubting yourself. Like, did I just throw away all this money? Is this the right decision? You know, how did you work through that? Because my guess is there's some people watching this video right now who, bought the course, bought the printer, and they're out money and they're making $50 in the first month. How did you work through that?
So it was when I got my first electronic check, my first bundle of electronic checks, from that second month that I did like 775, because all those little $50 jobs and $75 jobs, like they all came around the same time. So then I had a couple $100, and I'm like, oh, it's I'm getting, it's working. Like it's, yeah, I had to put that money out, but like look, I got more money in. Now I have money for supplies, and I actually have extra money that I, earned because of making that good purchase. Like
So again,
it's
what I keep
scary.
hearing is almost the same theme, consistency, is
Yeah.
that, you know, everything was in perspective. Like
Mhm.
$50 was a win, $100 was a win, $200 was a win. So like, I think it's because of your story that you're able to appreciate every moment. Where some people
Yeah.
take these little moments of $50 and they don't really sit and they don't really appreciate it. You took a $200 check and you're just so appreciative of that, because there's a point in your life where you're making $200 a week. But what I'm trying to say is, and what I love is, I see somebody who really is celebrating every win. And if you really take the moment to celebrate the little wins, it's
Yes.
easy to stay intrinsically motivated. I don't
Yeah.
think enough people celebrate little wins. I don't think
Oh
people
yeah.
celebrate the $50. They don't celebrate the $100. Instead of you looking at it like, oh, I only made 50, you're like, I made $50. And I think it's a
Yeah.
beautiful part of your story. And I know people are inspired by that. Cool. Anyways, what a great conversation, D. Let's go to your consistency part though now. So Consistency. Why is that such a big piece of advice?
Well, because there's times that you're just not feeling like marketing. There's times you're not feeling very good about yourself. Like there's times things are happening in life where you're just like feeling really defeated and you don't really feel like you have yourself to offer that day. I feel like those are the really important days that you do go out because something great might happen and it will turn your whole day around. So, as a single mom, I get engulfed a lot with feelings of feeling like I'm not doing enough or I should be at a different part than I am now. And that, I'm cheating my kids out of like things that they should have. But honestly, like I'm doing what I need to do. My family is good. And every day I wake up and I look at it as a new challenge. Look, I'm going to go out there and stick to the script. Go out there, market, let people know that you're there, and everything falls into place. Sometimes it takes a month or two for marketing to even show the progress. So even when it's slow, still go. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but like seriously, you just gotta go. You just gotta go. The days that you feel a little crummy, just turn it around. Leave it at home. Go make somebody's day, and making somebody's day sometimes will just turn your whole day around.
The definition of discipline is doing something when you don't want to do it, right?
Ooh.
What you just said was discipline. You just said, when I don't want to market, you still got to market. That's the definition of discipline, is doing something you don't want to do, but you got to do it. And again, I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but I think that's really, the mama bear and the story coming through, because there's moments where like you just have to do it because your family counts on it. There's no other person in the co-parent in the picture, right? You shared, you don't get money. And so you are disciplined because you have to be.
Yeah.
And I hope everyone hears that, because maybe your story isn't like hers, Donna's, but you have to learn how to be disciplined, because discipline is doing something you don't have to do, but you still do it anyways. And I love that. It's like, even if you don't want to market, you still got to market. Even when it's slow, you still got to market. These are moments where you don't want to do it, but you do it anyways. And that's what again, D, so freaking proud of you. I now know why you're so successful. I mean, and that's why I love these OTRs. It's because people see like, oh, I made $80,000. Oh, that's a lie. No, it's not. It's like, this is someone who markets when she doesn't want to market. This is someone who will travel 2 hours to make a client happy. This is someone who will market out an hour outside of her circumference during this time. Because when the market normalizes, you're going to be so freaking busy because of the effort now. And that's what people don't see, is they just see an $80,000 person. Oh, you can't make $80,000 in this market. Like, stop that jazz, man. Yes.
You can't. Just like you said, you got to plant the seed. You don't get a redwood tree by just planting something and then it pops up the next day. Like, God, that would be nice. But no, like you literally have to go out there and work for it and let people know. Nobody can hire you if they don't know who you are. Go out there, show your face, smile, leave whatever you got going on in the car. It'll be back there for you when you go back. Like, just show them who you are. Like the best thing is letting people know who I am, and them giving me the work because they feel like I'm a good fit for their client, because they're like, you would get along great with them, or, oh, you're a great fit for this client because you guys would get along great. Yeah, that's been, I think, maybe one of the best things about it, is like the word of mouth and all the wonderful compliments that people give you that really make your day. And that kind of makes it worth you getting up on that day you didn't really want to. Like, it just, or when somebody leaves you a review, like I've been working on my Google page like crazy after conference, and for people to take the time to write a very lengthy review on such a quick process, like I'm blown away. I can't even.
You're full of amazing of lines. There's one I wrote down. No one can hire you if they don't know who you are. Like, that's the essence of business, right?
Yeah.
I mean, no one can buy your product or service if they don't know your product or service exists. We get so many signing in, like, it's slow. Well, how many title companies know who you are? 3. well, 3 out of 50, like you're not going to make money. 3 out of 50 title companies know your name,
No.
but I mean, this story's been unbelievable. It's a story of discipline, a story of perseverance, a story of believing in yourself, a story of getting knocked down and getting right back up. Again, my hands down so far. And we have one last question, but is take a chance to be humiliated. Like that is somebody who embraces the learning curve, and not enough people do that. And
Yeah.
so the fact that you embrace the learning curve is why you are successful. So
Thank you so much, Mark. You really, this program, everybody on your team, you really have put together such a great thing for someone to grow and blossom it themselves. Like you give all the tools. You go through so many very detailed things that I thank you so much for, because that's what really helped me, being able to rewatch things and like, oh man, that PCOR, like let's watch that again. Like what, just little things that you make available and so easy to understand. Like I wouldn't have been able to do this without you. So I love the LSS family. I love hearing everybody's stories, and I'm so thankful that I get to share mine. I want to inspire any single mom out there that is stuck in the minimum wage shuffle, don't know where to go. Believe in yourself. Take a chance on yourself. You already do a great job raising kids. Like you can do a great job doing a business. It takes time, but I mean, what doesn't? What good thing doesn't take time? So
if there was a mic, I would drop it right now. Okay, so let's kind of wrap this up with this last question, right? And this last question is really geared towards people who are like you said, a single mom on that minimum wage train, right? Who may be doubting herself a little bit. So there had to be a little you already talked about a little bit self-doubt when you bought the product, when you became a signing agent, is what I should say.
yeah.
But was there any self-doubt moments before you bought the course that now you're just like, dude, why was I even tripping? But what were those moments to let people know they're not alone if they share those same doubts?
Well, number one, I had no knowledge of the industry. So that was something that I was doubting myself. I thought you had to be, real estate, work in an escrow office, like have some type of knowledge, or buy a house, or, even look at a set of loan docs. I've never even set my eyes on a set of loan docs until your program, until I printed out the template and I studied it and I tabbed everything, just allowing myself to just be like, okay, you don't know it, but guess what? You're going to learn it. That was the thing that I had to allow myself, that, you know what? It's okay if you don't do great. It's okay if you don't do super, but you're going to stick with it. This is going to be something that I felt like I can stick with and that I could really make my own. So that's why I wasn't going to take no for an answer. And just seeing all the support that you provide too, just everybody has been so helpful. Everybody that is involved with LSS has such a good hearted spirit about them. And everybody's always able to, if you need something, you just reach out to your fam and they take care of it. Like it's such a good feeling to know that you're not alone. You may be alone. You maybe think you're alone in life, but like, honestly, when you join this whole thing, like you just feel like you're really a part of something, and people believe in you. People want you to do good, and when you do good, your kids are going to feel good. You feel good. And whoever thought about being a business owner? I never thought about that before 2022. And that's the year I started my business. I never, ever thought Donna's going to own a bit. That's weird, but it happened. And now I can't fathom anything besides this.
Well, what's funny is I heard something in there which I honestly have said this 45 times. I'm gonna say it one last time. I think it's your journey that's really made you a good business owner. Because I heard someone who gives themselves a lot of grace, right? And so you're like, look, I may not be that good, but I'm going to keep studying. I'm going to be better, right? And I think part of being a business owner is giving yourself enough grace to make mistakes,
Yeah.
and not beat yourself up if you made the mistake, but just to get back up and keep going. And I can't help to think that part of your journey of being a single mom is the same thing. It's sometimes I'm just doing the best I freaking can. And instead of getting upset at yourself, you're just giving yourself credit for this is the cards that I was dealt, and I'm going to do as best as I can with the cards.
Yeah.
And that's bled into your business. And because sometimes people don't give themselves grace. And that's what
Yeah.
prevents them from growing, right? Because they beat themselves up so bad because they did this, when sometimes that's just part of the journey. You know what I mean? I just picked up on that in that last conversation you had because, like you said, it's like, I learned the loan docs, but I went back and studied and I didn't really get it. And I studied again. So, but instead of
Yeah.
getting mad at yourself for not getting it, you just went back and attacked it. And
I think what people see is like they only see the end result. They only see, oh, you're at this much, or oh, you're doing this much a month. But nobody really stops to think about what steps it took to get there and how ups and downs. And we learn from mistakes. And let me tell you, I made some pretty bad mistakes and during some signings when I first started. And I got things mixed up. I missed signatures. But like that time that I made those mistakes are the times that I had like a profound, like, oh my God, I'm never doing this again. And now I perfect how I keep track of things because of that one really, really, really bad time that I had on an evening
yeah,
signing with 2 sets of loan docs. Like from that time, it showed me, and now I joke about it. I'm like, oh, I've messed up pretty bad. So this is why I keep myself very organized and I'm in control. I don't just pass the pack and just say, good luck. Let's, you know,
right.
we have to take control. So it's like, even with a lot of things in life, you see the end result, you see, oh, they're so perfect and oh, they did such a good job. But it's like, what did it really take to get there? It
That's right.
took a lot. And everybody has a journey, everybody has a starting point, and just give yourself the time and the flexibility to just learn it and not be perfect and know that you're going to get better if you want to get better. If
Mm,
you just make a mistake and give up and you're just like, oh, well, I guess I suck and I'll never do that again, then you've kind of just didn't give yourself a chance to grow.
I love it. Give yourself a
So
chance to grow. Another great Donism. Well, with that being said, Dee, thank you so much for sharing your story. Keep going, and I cannot wait to see 2023 because we're going to enter a refi boom this year. Zero doubt, 6 figures. You heard it here first. And I will see you at conference this year.
you
Bye.
will definitely.